What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, I wanted to talk and do a little bit of a follow-up to the how much SPS should I own. Now, in the last video where I was talking about how much SPS should I own and stake, I was talking about it from how much of a share or percentage point do you want to have of the game, right? Like how much do you want to own in terms of like what is the size of the piece that you want when it comes to SPS and your essential ownership in the game, right? Not counting cars, not counting land or anything else, but just the SPS governance token, which I think to me, and I've said and will continue to say, is the best play out there. So this is going to be a little bit different, same kind of outlook, but a little bit different in where my focus will be. Now let me find Splinterlands here. There we go. I want to talk about market caps, and I want to talk about this from an investment standpoint, right? Because I know a lot of people are looking at this and how do I make not necessarily like a quick flip or some quick cash or whatever the case is. This to me is still a long-term investment. I'm not going to give you any timelines here, although I will give you a price prediction in the sense that we hit $1 previously, right? If you look at Splinterlands, we've crossed $1. That was when it first came out. I don't really count that time. I do count this, however, as we got close to $1 here. I'm not sure if we actually crossed it, but we got up and very, very close to $1. We didn't close over $1 on the dailies, but I do wonder if we did hit a high, or at least a local high on maybe the hourly or 4 hour. Again, I'm not going to look that far back. All I'm going to say is that I do believe in the long run, right, that Splinterlands has the potential to make it back to $1, even when it's fully diluted. A fully diluted token distribution means that we have 3 billion, right? 3 billion tokens out there. And if each token is $1, that means we have a $3 billion valuation. Now, looking at other games as they currently stand, right? I'm going to go up here. You see Decentraland, you see Sandbox, you see Axie Infinity. These are already at multi-billion-dollar market caps. So Axie Infinity, which to me is one of the gold standards within the game. And I know there's people who are very bullish. There's people who are very bearish on Axie Infinity. I think it's one of those games that is probably too big to fail at this point. I don't know much about them. So just aside from what I hear, I just know that the team obviously has a very large player base. I don't think that they can get it wrong, right? Yes, everybody's going to have missteps along the way. I'm not trying to FUD Axie here. In fact, if anything, I'm trying to say that it's one of those too big to fails that they will have the resources, time, and the loyal player base to be able to get the game right in the long run. Now, if I look at the fully diluted market cap here, when everything is released, and I don't know what the distribution schedule for Axie is, that's going to be 16 billion. 16 billion, right? They're already at 3 billion, considering where things are at. Looking at some of the other games out here, I know another very popular game is Illuvium at a fully diluted market cap. This is going to be a $6.7 billion project. Let's just take a look at Gala. Gala isn't necessarily a game, but more so a collection, or like not really a launch pad. I still need to do my research on Gala, but look at Gala. Look at Gala currently at 2.3 billion in terms of market cap. Fully diluted will be 11.7 billion, although there's no max supply here. So this is probably not a good example. What is my broader point when it comes to this? The broader point is that I do believe that SPS can at least get back to $1, if not more potentially, right? And when I'm giving this price prediction, I am saying that I do believe it can happen within the next 5 to 7 years. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a quick flip or a quick trade. I just believe in the game long term, and as we have seen the market cap go up very high, once the airdrop ends, once the rest of the distribution starts, for example, we will have the ranked battle rewards coming in at some point. So once maybe all of that ends, and I'm going to give that 5 years or 65 months, we could potentially see a scarcity in the market, right? Because there will be no more else. There'll be no more available. They won't be being distributed from anywhere, and you'll have to go and actually buy it, which could increase the buying upward pressure. Now, 5 to 7 years is a long time, especially in the crypto world. We could be in a totally different place in that time, but I have seen the team grow tremendously in the last 6 to 8 months. They are very corporate now, which I love, because at the end of the day, this is an investment, and you want to see that kind of organization there, right? An organization that has very much the ethos of crypto, decentralization, free markets, all of that fun stuff, but also has a very corporate kind of like, hey, this is the hierarchy, this is the structure. We want people who will deliver value and can take us from, point A to point B, right? They went from 0 to 1, and now it's a matter of going from 1 to 1,000,000. And hopefully you get that reference from just like creating a startup. So that is, to me, where the value lies. So let's go back to the main point of this video. Well, how much SPS should you own? Well, here's the thing. If you are at least somewhat along the similar mindset as me, if you believe that SPS can and will go to at least $1 at some point in the future, then that should be your trade target, right? How much SPS do you want to own? And then, maybe even take profit. So you might be selling around that dollar point. But how much SPS do you want to own once SPS is $1, right? Because keep in mind, we are at 15 cents right now. So what is that? That's almost like a 6x from here. That's nothing in crypto terms, right? Like cryptos go X's all the time. And I'm telling you that I think this thing can 6x over the next 5 to 6 years. That's not, again, I'm just trying to temper expectations here. My point is, if you believe in this investment where it could potentially go, you can set your price target as $1 and then start to put in your goal, or start accumulating towards your goal of, I want to have X amount of SPS by the time this reaches $1, right? So, for me, I'd love to have 1 million SPS once this reaches $1. I'd love to have 3 million SPS once this reaches $1. That, again, whatever your goal is, you can set that number now, knowing that, well, not knowing, but at least believing, right? I have to be very careful here. None of this is financial advice. Let me just get that out of the way. None of this is just financial advice. We are just having fun doing a little price speculation. But again, based on previous factors, based on where I believe the team is going with the game and how the game is growing and developing, I have to believe that where SPS is and the value that the team is trying to drive towards SPS, I can see us going back to up to $1 at one point. Potentially even more. I get asked all the time, well, maybe more in previous months than recently, but can SPS hit $10? Can it hit $30? Yeah, it can. I'm not saying that it will. If anything, I'm trying to take the most conservative route, which is I do believe that it can hit its all-time high again, even in the most bearish of scenarios, meaning that everything is fully diluted and you're comparing it to the rest of the market, right? And I guess that's not really bearish, but hopefully you understand my point, looking at this from a fully diluted standpoint. Because if I'm being optimistic here, if you're asking me personally, do I think we're going to hit $1 before the next 5 to 7 years? Yeah, I think we'd hit it sooner rather than later. But I don't want to be the guy that's shilling up like any kind of hopium. That is me speaking completely out of my butt, because I don't, the markets are going to do what the markets are going to do. And everything is really subject to Bitcoin. And then on a broader sense, maybe what ends up happening with crypto from a regulatory standpoint over the next 24 months, if we see some hardline stances taken by the regulators in the US and maybe around the world. But again, it's hard to really know what will happen. It's hard to predict for that. But I do believe in the resiliency of a lot of these different projects. Now, many of them are going to go to zero, but the way that I view something like Splinterlands, for example, is the fact that they have a very solid team here and will be able to navigate those types of regulatory frameworks, right? Especially as they try to make the project itself more decentralized. And again, this is not a decentralized project. They're trying to decentralize elements of it, and I can appreciate that. But at the end of the day, if this is a US-based company, or wherever the company ends up being based, they will be subject to certain laws there. So again, I'm just trying to throw out all of the most bearish scenario cases that I can to let you know that this is not a straight line, that I don't think we're going to be going straight up to $1. But I do believe in the twists and turns, the ups and downs that is everybody's crypto journey, I believe that we can get back up to $1, right? And I'm trying to give you as conservative of a time frame as possible, and my reasons for a conservative time frame, which is that 5 to 7 years, which includes a fully diluted token at that point, right? So the fully diluted market cap, therefore, being whatever the price of the coin is times that 3 billion once it's out. And like I'm saying, at 3 billion coins by $1, that's a $3 billion market cap, fully diluted. And we're seeing games and projects already well above that. So again, just taking the conservative route here. But I'm trying to help reframe this for you if you are trying to figure out what or how much should I be investing into the game. That is how I would view it. I would say if you have conviction, then I would strongly, act in a way that I believe SPS would be going back up to $1 at some point. So therefore, how big do you want your bag to be? If SPS does hit $1, what are you going to do at that point? Are you going to take some off the board? Are you going to take some off the board beforehand? Like everybody, like at the end of the day, this is your money. So take responsibility for it. Don't trust some YouTuber. I'm not even a YouTuber. Don't trust some musician who just got into crypto and gaming on YouTube, right? Like take responsibility, do the research. And again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just looking at this, telling you that this is my conviction and that I believe on the most conservative of estimates that we can hit our all-time high again. All right, I'm just ranting and raving at this point and repeating myself. So hopefully this was helpful or at least entertaining just to go through. So if it was, I would appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. I haven't even asked for that in a while. So if you consider liking and subscribing to the channel, you would be awesome. That's all I have for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.